let you go now. Making it so hard. You got to know now. Ooh, taking it too far. Nothing to hold now. I'm falling apart. Out in the cold now. Breathing underwater. Breathing underwater now. I can't let go.
CRL, the Widow Creator Cup, Appjack's the Bubble, WCBC, Minor League Esports, finals, all of it going on. But we've saved the best for last. That's right, folks. We are here live. It is the Frontier Doubles League Adept League finals in Kendo Slice alongside, who are you again? Chris with a K?
Yes, sir. Oh, the one
Oh.
and only. And my goodness, have we ever commentated together, Kendo?
Oh, I'm sure that we have. I guarantee that we have at some point. I usually come in through here once a year. Uh, it's a depth league. We're going through the finals of. I hear you all are doing a best of set, something that is unheard of in the community league circuit. How many best of fives are y'all doing? 17?
Well, man, I don't think I can convince them to do 17 best of
Oh,
sets, but no, we've only got three at most here,
okay,
three
okay.
best of fives to determine it all. The players, all of the players on the team matters. It has been one of the greatest competitions. We've seen so many upsets, so many stories being told through this format. And I just think this one is just going to be that much sweeter of a storyline at the end of it.
It's one of the things you love to see, and of course, you look at a league like Adept League, anywhere from 10 to the 12 salary. About right in my area, you got that the dreaming of Champ One, and then those who are saddling maybe the Champ Two portion of the pitch, and you love to see how often teams in that range are able to put together some amazing individual plays. It's the consistency more often than not that is the undoing. So I can guarantee we're going to see some sort of fireworks, whether or not they are haphazard or brilliantly strung together, will be left to be put on the pitch.
Absolutely. Dreams are going to be made here. This is the rank where you kind of see yourself playing at a more competitive level. You want to get better at this rank. A lot of people envision themselves at this point. You just hit champ, you go in for grand champ. You want to keep getting better and winning things like this, community leagues. It just sets that goal into more of a perspective for people to achieve this. And one of these teams, I mean, it's going to be heartbreaking loss. It could go 15 games and they could send angry DMs at me later. But
Ooh.
it's all going to be for the experience, for the motivation to get better at the game. And I cannot wait to see how these players play tonight.
I do love the fact that we have a website that somewhat works. We were joking earlier about how certain things in the website have not updated or been proper the entire night. One thing I do love is the fact that we have rosters that seem to be correct and up to date. The Unseen, JB the Shrink Old Man, WTR Dragon representing the Eagles, 8-2 leaders of their division throughout the season. And really the perennial powerhouse. You look down at the Rams, and I don't know right off the top of my head that this is the team that you would look at and say, hey, that's a champion. That's a winner right there. But they've made it. They've made it on a 5-5 record. Swayze, team captain, Psycho Yahtzee. Or maybe no, you know what? I think the 33 is that a Yahtzee? Is
That
it?
is a Yahtzee, good sir.
Okay,
And
okay. I've been around community leagues for long enough. I've gotten to the point where whether it be leet speak or wingding emojis, I can kind of gather together what you're going for. So credit to everybody. Very unique names this time around for the Adept League final.
yes, it's all I think that's one of the most interesting things. I want to see someone with a name like Yahtzee going into RLCS. It would just be the funniest thing to see some of the names that you get at these lower leagues. It's interesting to see, but it is also weird to see a team at a 5-5 record make it to our final stage, the Grand Jeté, as you would. And how they made it here, I don't know, but I've backed Yo Swayze and Yahtzee in this league for since they joined. I always thought they were really good players, and I would hate to see them lose. But on the other side, Unseen had one of the greatest series with this format. We tested it last season in the Origin League, the 10 salaries and below. We saw it there. Unseen just barely missed out. It went to game 8 and almost won it out, but that was only the semifinals. He didn't even get a taste of the final stage, and now he's back. He's thirsty. He is hungry for a win.
Yeah, absolutely love to see it, as I do know we are working on getting teams into this match. And let's set it up a little bit for everyone. The perennial underdogs, the Cinderella story in the Rams, going to be going up against the 8-2 Eagles, the powerhouse of Adept League throughout. They didn't have too many things happen to them throughout the regular season that hindered their dominance. And that is where things get scary. Outperforming teams brilliantly. The only team in Adept League to make it to 8 wins on the season. That's fairly impressive. Goals for, the goal differential in the double digits. The only other team to do that, the Huskies. Unless, of course, we're counting negative double digits. Looking at you, Vipers and Owls. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up. I know it's a rough subject.
Oh man, just a casual little BM there, but it was so close. And even interesting on that, the 2 losses that the Eagles had, one of them was to the Rams. The
Yeah.
David versus Goliath story gets a little bit more in depth. And can they do it again in what has been a dominant season for the Eagles? Can the Rams upset what would have been in the normal season? Can they do it one last time in the finals? We're about to find out.
You'll love to see it. WTR Dragon and JB the Shrink coming in for the Eagles. It's Yo Swayze and Psycho for the Rams, and we get things kicked off. A best of set. 3 potential best of 5s going to be on the docket for you all tonight. And the colors coming in. The Rams in black, Eagles in the green. Nothing better than Adept League doubles action here on the Frontier Doubles League.
Yeah, already right off the start, just trading possession. Neither team getting a solid opportunity to strike, but that one, an own goal to kick it all off. What more could you want for the opening goal? Wasn't for the Eagles what they are known for, but just as funny anyway.
Oh, I'm glad nobody's able to see my face here live on the screen, because that's not the way you want to start things out if you are the Rams. They are going to be looking to make amends here. First 30 seconds gone by, and already statement from the Eagles. They aren't going to back down. They're ready to avenge that regular season loss. Psycho, round 2. Gonna have time to set things up in the corner, but you got to make sure you stay behind some of your touches. In Adept League, the one thing that I'm always looking for is individual plays in 2s. Who can hold the ball longer than I can hold a conversation?
Well, if you're looking for one of those players, Psycho right here is definitely one of a kind, but the dunk, just so unfortunate. Psycho not getting able to show what he can pull off, but let me tell you, once he gets started, it is very hard to stop him, but JB just a little bit quicker to the punch.
That right there is the difference between fast and quick, Chris. You have the ability to be fast, but if you're not quick, just as the Eagles were in that instance, it doesn't matter how fast you're going. And let's just be honest, they were fumbling the ball in their own zone. So 2 mistakes gone by for the Rams. And the beautiful thing is, this is just game number 1. Still plenty of time to make adjustments. And we don't see very many best of sets in the community side. So I'm loving the fact that we get to experiment with it here on the Adept League stage.
Absolutely. It's always something interesting to see how they play out. Oh, Swayze breaks the crossbar on the follow-up shot. Eagles just barely getting away with that one. But it does show it. How good can you stay in a series? Your mentality is at risk for this. If you lose the first set, you're not just done. It's not just a one and done for a best of 7. You've got to put everything on the line. You've got to regain for the next one, because one of these players from both teams will stick through for the next one. And then after that, if it goes to the third one, they're done. They have to watch what they started out with. So it is a very interesting situation. Everyone gets to play twice, or at least once. But now the Eagles might just be the only one. JB has got a hat trick on his shoulders, taking the first game by storm.
I like this even more now that you've mentioned how it's formatted. Everybody able to get involved, and I might be working on the regular basis in leagues that have timeouts. I'm already sensing the need for a timeout for the Rams. Not going to happen here in the Adept League in the Frontier Doubles final. But 3 mistakes on the docket for the Rams. It's not a good start. Maybe J-Dubs might be able to get into some ears, let them know, hey, just relax a little bit. You can be a champion like me.
Oh, maybe, but JB has just picked apart the Rams for a 4th time. Doesn't look to stop anywhere soon, but you said it perfectly. It's just game 1. There is still at maybe 4 matches to get back into this one. So the game 1 nerves, whatever it might be, flush them all out right now. You've got 2 minutes. Find a goal, build momentum for the next one, whatever it might be. You have plenty of time to make the adjustments needed, and Psycho might just be doing Psycho things off the kickoff.
There we go. We like to see it. Make amends for some of the mistakes down the road, and right off the kickoff, able to put it through. Make it tough for the Eagles to react. They're already airborne. We've seen it, and I'm looking forward to even more. Game number 1. Give us a sneak peek at the ingredients, the mise en place, as it were.
Psycho, he's still hunting. He is one of the most mechanical players you're going to find at this skill level, and you don't find too many mechanical players, but the game sense might not be enough to keep up with it. All the way stuck in the corner. JB turns it in for a 5th. Any insurance you could get at this point, take it. Because if Psycho starts heating up, he could definitely swing a series right off kickoff. Easiest way to score. But the Eagles, they want to set the pace for the entirety of this grand finals.
I was close to questioning the whole J-Dubs champion idea that I put forth. Championship mentality. You gotta make sure that you do have that going forward. I may or may not be getting a little bit of heat back and forth going on. Oh yeah, WTR Dragon, Water Dragon. Ah, I love it. I love it. You know, that's the fun thing about names. You learn them as you go, and Water Dragon, now I know. So expect me to get it wrong at least 3 or 4 more times. That way, you change your name to emphasize the W2ER in your name.
Oh man, I'm on the back end of that name thing too. People still don't get it to this day, but that is by choice, by design. JB save after, well, I guess 1 save on only registered, but he is doing the work for his team right now. Water Dragon picking up 4 saves for himself right now, and 30 seconds to go. Eagles in firm control, looking to add another one potentially. The Rams playing from behind this series, or this game, but they're staying in it towards the second half of the game, and that's a good thing to see. Emma for his efforts. Psycho, can he do anything in the final 10?
If there's one thing I think the Rams can take home from game number 1, it's the fact that they had no lack for getting the ball towards the net. 8 total shots, out shooting the Eagles 8-6 is fairly impressive in my mind. There's just hasn't been any body behind it, any lethality when the Rams get into the offensive zone. They're going to want to slow things down, try to be a little more meticulous. Not so slow that the Eagles are able to swoop in and steal their lunch money by any stretch of the imagination, but slowing things down ball possession-wise, creating that extra touch in the offensive zone is going to be critical for the Rams moving into game number 2.
Yeah, and you know, a 5-1 scoreline doesn't really reflect on the shots. You kind of think about it, oh yeah, 5 goals, they put up a lot of pressure. Well, they really didn't. They just kind of got their opportunities and ran with them. The Rams definitely have the opportunity to win that game. They just like you said, need some lethality behind their shots. They need to
Yes.
make the Eagles panic when they go to touch the ball on defense. But there hasn't been anything else on that defensive side from the Rams. They need to clean it up in that back line. They need to get the ball and transition it a little bit smoother, find each other a little bit in the midfield. When you play twos, not many people go for the team plays. You don't utilize your teammate as much as you really can. That's the most useful thing other than boost in the game is your teammate. How well can you work with them to get that win? We want to see that out of the Rams.
So I just want to make sure, are they going to change up at all in each series, or is it got to be,
No.
you've stuck with these guys, you have to do it the entire series?
Yep, it's
For
Yo Swayze and Psycho for the first set, same as JV and
Nice.
Water Dragon.
Okay, I wanted to double check myself before I wrecked myself. Don't want to make any assumptions going into this one, but clean slates for the Eagles, for the Rams, and the Eagles show they have the ability to do it again. One thing I did love from the Eagles, how they were so very good at converting on their chances. Large percentage efficacy, 83%. 5 out of the 6 shots delivering pay dirt. Oh, and Water Dragon gonna deliver on their first shot.
And that hurts. That really does. Psycho just barely missing the touch. The entire backfield of the Eagles was open. Water was all in for that whiff play, and it just didn't. And it just benefited the Eagles in the end. The Rams, they have the good idea right now. They have it. They just need the execution to follow through on it. But at 30 seconds in, after how game one went, you might just start thinking, is this really what we're all about? But Psycho looking for a crazy shot on that angle. Doesn't find it. Water push it back in the half of the Rams.
Let's take a look at how they move this ball up. And I want to... one of the things I love about commentating twos, especially in this level of twos, paying close attention to the way that the ball is treated. You never want to slap your possessions away. Really, the careless play has led to the Rams twice giving the ball away in the midfield, and Water Dragon showed us they didn't skip leg day on this play.
Carrying that perfectly out of the corner. Finds his teammate front post where two defenders were sitting, but just didn't find anything else. Psycho actually might have been for a Psycho off the back wall. Would have been a sight to see. I think that would be the first for the league, but as to no avail, the Rams just can't pick it up on defense quite yet. Water to the back wall. He's got JB. Oh, it's just barely off. And Yo Swayze instantly punishes.
Do you even lift, bro? It's lovingly pushed right off of JB and Swayze. That's the type of aggressive challenge you need to have, especially in a twos environment. You win a 50 just the way Swayze did, you can send it back the other way. You have to watch that second man's positioning.
And he had that read all day, too. A little bit better on that execution. The Rams player didn't even jump by the time JB did. That's just one of the things that can go away. So much perfect Rocket League relies at this point. Everything is getting punished pretty much. Eagles showed that in game one. Rams, they're getting to start that in game two. Psycho might have the best opportunity for the Rams. But Swayze jumping a little bit too soon. Can't follow through with it. Water Dragon gets another chance, but it's another dunk for the Rams. JB just barely getting back in time.
Reaction time, and JB definitely keeping their focus up. Normally, for me to try to keep up with that sort of gameplay, I need to have at least 400 milligrams of caffeine in my bloodstream, taking 3 or 4 different performance enhancers. JB just makes it look natural right there. The greatest of ease, bringing it home. That save on the back end it justifies, it validates the aggressive positioning by the Eagles, but I do put it in cautionary terms because the Eagles can very easily get beaten. They've already been beaten once in this game on that sort of aggressive positioning.
Yeah, and the Rams coming out with some of these dunk plays that if you win the 50s, it's going to work out for long-term possession in your favor, and Rams winning more of these is a little bit concerning. JB takes one to the net, and the Rams deny yet again. And if the Rams keep building that confidence, going for these challenges, they could just run away with the rest of the series. And the defense is looking so much better now for the Rams. Psycho's getting more aggressive in the air. That is what you want to see out of these players. But they got 2 minutes to score at least one more to force overtime.
Oh, JB's not going to hit that one, and we are going to be going deuces wild. Once again, these long bombs, and it's Swayze initiating contact with the ball in the mid rather than waiting for the ball to come to them on the goal line. That is something I really enjoy seeing in twos. It's always a question mark going into one of these matchups. How well do you activate yourself in the offensive zone, in the defensive zone? Because if you give players time with the ball, they are going to find their way.
It is a very interesting change of pace. Swayze just playing that cleanup game, finding those easy open nets to capitalize on, and Psycho taking a little bit more controlled approach, each one having such a unique style, whereas the Eagles, right now, they're playing in tangent with each other. They're looking for each other. This one's on a wide open net. Psycho just has to make one on target, but just falls short at the last second. And 60 seconds to go. Rams, if they lose this one, they're going to go to match point on the first set, and that would not be a good feeling moving into the rest.
No, but they have clawed their way back. Not exactly because Rams have claws or anything of that nature. Speaking of nature, Water was able to flow with JB there, but had me worried. Swayze able to keep the long clear out, and I'm taking a look really quick at the shots. The Rams, once again, plethora of shots. Swayze specifically has been able to get 7 shots on. You compare Water Dragon to Swayze right now. There's a Brazil. There's a slow roller, and there's a 1-goal lead with 9 seconds to go.
And picking apart the mistakes. Psycho only had to play patient there. He knew he was getting beat to the ball. He played to rotate out, but he's stuck with it. He wanted to see that play all the way through, and as soon as Water drives by it, JB gets the miss off the flip. He knows it's time to strike. Psycho only needs to buy time for his team, and we will be tied up in the first set.
Shots don't always determine what team has priority, but in game number 2, it was the Rams sticking with their guns. 8 shots, they decide to one-up themselves. 9 shots in game number 2, and this time it ended up paying dividends. 3 out of those 9 going in. So give me more Rams. Give me that same exact mentality in pressure. They took one away from the Eagles, and they've shown us they're fearless in the sight of, well, a team that was borderline undefeatable.
Yeah, I mean, the Rams, they're out shooting their opponents. They're doing a great job, but the Eagles are putting up an impressive amount of saves for the shots given. So it's not like the Rams are just wildly shooting the ball, missing the net. They are actually putting up a very good fight on defense, but the Eagles, it's not a lot of sustaining pressure from the Rams in offense. They just kind of take a shot and then let the Eagles have their chance. It's very respectable Rocket League that you have going on right now. And I don't want to see that. I want to see these teams get in each other's faces, demo each other, take them off the field, bump them out of the net, hit them maybe with a what a save, but you know, out of the good nature of the sport. But the Eagles, they were playing to the Rams. They were not taking their own play. They were not making it happen. They're just capitalizing on the mistakes. And I want to see some, like I said, from the Rams, some team play. The Rams got a lot of open net chances, and Swayze sending some bombs in midfield, finding the goals. But the Eagles, they definitely seem to be more team-orientated than the Rams. And I think that's where they will shine coming out in the rest of this set, because winner goes the match point for the first set. And that's not a fun place to be, but JB, he's been there so much with the first goal.
Ooh, it is JB the Shrink coming through! And just a weak touch out of the corner. Like, I've said this 1,000 times, higher level play, Adept League, it doesn't matter. You need to make sure that you keep control of the ball through the corner. If you leave it loose, You're giving the other team some juice, and right now, that's all JB the Shrink needs. Another one off the kickoff, and it's an early 2-0 lead.
JB has, I would say, looking more solid than Water Dragon. I've seen them switch up their kickoffs, I think at least once in that second game, where JB went, when a lot of teams normally just do left goes for the ball first. So JB feeling a lot more confident on kickoffs is going to find a third for his team. Water Dragon collects his first goal of game 3, maybe even the set. I can't remember too well if he scored another one, but just barely off of it. And Eagles, I mean, don't let them run away with it. You got plenty of time, but 3 and 30 seconds is a wild game to give up after you just barely scraped away with game 2.
Mess with the bird, you get the talons, and right now, it's the Eagles who are looking oh so good, with the exception of Hyo Swayze coming through. I liked the attempt. It definitely kept the Eagles on their toes, but it was a one and done offense. I still have not seen a sustained effort from the Rams, and it's going to worry me if I continue to see things that way over time. They will punish the overcommit this time around, though. Psycho, great vision.
It's always at that midfield line, too, that the Rams catch the Eagles off guard. Water Dragon wanted to turn for it, but Psycho, reading that ball off of the wall, is a little bit faster to the read, make it work a little bit better. But the Rams, it's just that midfield line. They're not getting any farther than that, but making those goals count is what they need right now. It doesn't have to be the best looking shot. It just has to go between the two posts. And Psycho still getting so aggressive. Might just find this one for his teammate. Hole tried to cut that infield, barely missing the mark. The Rams get back one. They might find a second one soon, but they have way too much time to work with. Psycho drops it down for JB. An unorthodox passing play to the other team, but still a very nice pass.
Oh, I really did not like Psycho turning on that challenge going forward, and then it turns into this double commit that just was not good. Psycho did everything they could after putting themselves in a very bad position, but the best thing they could have done, don't put yourself in that position in the first place. What's wrong?
Oh man, JB, he's still following that one through. Water Dragon's already up for the shot, but he doesn't make contact. Swayze gonna bail out the Rams for now. And this is looking like a lot. It's looking like game 1 all over again. The Eagles have just found ways to make the Rams play to their style, and that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the Eagles get control like they did in game 1, because now the Rams are held to very little shots. Eagles are beating them at every opportunity. Demo's trying to buy some space for the Rams, but it's still to no avail. Psycho's still trying to just get ground, set up something off the wall like he loves to do, and Water's chasing him all the way down the field, trying to prevent that. Finally, Rams see a little bit of the Eagles' half, but it's just taken away so soon, and it's already on target. Psycho can't get back. Eagles half the game to go and have already equalized the entirety of game 1's score.
Yes, they have, and they're doing it in a much more convincing fashion. The Rams, whether it be of their own avail or through just giving away some of these possessions, have given away a large amount of momentum in this match. Again, 6 shots, all the Eagles have needed to score all 5 goals. The Rams defense has looked a little bit like a house of cards at times, and it's misses like that one that have really set up bad situations. We'll see how Swayze handles it. Good turn. Will at the very least keep the initial challenge out, but it's more control from the Eagles. They can sweat this clock down with 2 minutes to go and a 4-goal lead.
And Eagles, I mean, this goal might be for free. Everyone playing the touch on the goal line and ends up nobody hitting it at all. But the Eagles, they have so much space to work with, even right there. Psycho leaves the ball entirely, gives up the play to the Eagles. Swayze on the goal line, just barely keeping it out. But 1:30 to go, and Rams, I think they need to start playing a little bit more, I don't want to say to the Eagles' play style, but they definitely need some kind of control, some kind of way to put them in this game, not just by the skin of their teeth, but to fully take control of it. They're getting these wins downfield, but there's nothing more on target. A backflip doesn't matter. Psycho collects it in the midfield. A minute to go is not out of it. There have been crazier comebacks, but the Rams making it a little bit harder on themselves than it needs to be.
I don't like doubling down on certain words used in vocabulary very often, but you use the word control twice in that moment. I do mirror your thought process. It needs to be a more controlled effort. Their entire offense has been one and done throughout this series so far, and it needs to be a sustained spot for the Rams. If it is just that one and done mentality, you're going to sure see a lot of shots on net at times. But if a team shuts you out the way that the Eagles have here in game number 3, you're going to find that the offense you're able to get is definitely more flash in the pan. Speaking of flashes, here comes Swayze again from the midfield. This is, I think, 80% of their offense so far has been from the midfield or farther.
Yeah, I think the only goal they got in the Eagles half was the second goal they just got in game 3. So the Rams, I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But also, you want to add a little bit of spice to that. If you eat chicken, 6 days out of the week, you get sick of it at times. And,
I disagree with that. No. I've had some pretty stinking good chicken. It's just you got to make sure that you switch up your seasoning sets. But I agree with your point. You can't just do the same exact thing over and over. In fact, Einstein would say it's insanity. I still need to get that guy some hair gel. But that's aside the point. We have seen a mite of solace for the Rams here in game number 3, but it's not going to be enough. The Eagles go to match point for set number 1 in this best of 3, best of 5. And I will never be able to get that rundown right. A best of 3, best of 5.
It is a little concerning looking at these two rosters, though.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the Rams, and they've got an 11-7, they got an 11-4, and
Yes.
a 10-7 playing. And then you look over at the Eagles, they've got an 11-9 who their best player hasn't even stepped on the field yet. And then you got JB at 11-7. But then you got Water Dragon at a 10. He is the lowest salary possible in this Adept League, and he has been performing really well. He has been backing up JB when he's needed. He's not overstepped. He's not given up anything too easy in the goal. Like, he's gotten the wins for his team. And I think this one game kind of shows he's doing kind of the grunt work in the midfield, getting that ball, chasing Psycho down so the Rams don't get opportunities to push it out in the midfield. And for the first time, Rams have not outshot the Eagles. It is the back end work that the Eagles are doing that prevents the Rams to do it. And the Eagles stepped up their game after the loss. And I don't think we really saw that from the Rams, when they lost game 1. They kind of barely got away with the win in game 2. And I know that sounds a little bit harsh, but you got to make it more convincing. You got to play your style. You have to make it work. And the Rams, I want to see Psycho, dude. I was hyping up Psycho because he's hit flip resets. He's hit double flip resets in the playoff bracket. He is a monster on the field. And I just haven't seen that same beast come out. All we've seen are kickoff goals opening up the Eagles in every game so far.
It's just so good. And Psycho going for the initial challenge, put themselves out yet again. It's been a decision-making process, and it's been questionable, but you kind of learn to expect that in the Adept League. It's one of the reasons why I love this level of Rocket League so much, because there are going to be teams and individual players who have it all together. Then there are those who are going to be wild cards. You'll have people who are able to hit flip resets in Champ 1. But at the same time, you're also going to have people who are willing to break down their gameplay to a science and make the meticulous touches when they count. You talked about the grunt work. Water Dragon, again, coming in with the grunt work. You see the contested challenge, and Water Dragon in the midfield just waiting for that loose ball to take advantage of, does so with brilliance and fervor.
Water Dragon, actually, a little bit of more context here. The FDL historian coming out huge. Water Dragon started this season, but something happened. I think he got military duty or something to go and do, and he was out for the whole season. And they pulled him back in at the later half of the season, which is why he's here and Angel was discontinued on the roster. They wanted to finish it out with Water. These players saw something, and even though he missed out on the majority of the season, he's still back, and he's still proving why he is back on this roster. He is in champion, in peak form right now. The Rams get away with this one, but I don't want to discredit Water at all for what we were hyping him up for on that grunt work play for the second goal. He is lights out. 2 goals already in this game. He's doing great, but the Rams, they're trying to get back into it. That was a wide open net from JB. Doesn't find it off of that, and the Rams might just capitalize on this one. Okay. Rams are picking it up. They equalize a little bit sooner. This looks good for them.
And I want to go back to the first goal that they scored, and it was a good sign from the Rams. It was Psycho taking flight, showing us that control that you've been bragging about, that Psycho has the ability to do, but it wasn't necessarily something on net. It was beating the initial challenge in the midfield, getting it down to a teammate. These two teams have decided to go with no defense at all. We have a Rocky movie playing out in front of us. Both of these teams throwing haymakers. There's no fists up to protect cheeks.
Is it always more fun or less fun to watch teams play no defense and just trade haymakers? The largest goal gap, scoring series I've ever seen happened in Season 3, where I think it was either 9-7 or 11-13. It was wild watching that, and you just never knew who was going to come on top in the end, and we might have that same exchange of blows here. JB, again, right off the kickoff. It seems like the majority of the Eagles' goals happening right off kickoff. Water Dragon clearing the way for JB to get that one for free.
And again, you said the grunt work, and I mirror it. Indubitably. We'll make up a word for all I care. That is how good Water Dragon has been in the midfield. It really has been the catalyst in this first series set for the Eagles to maintain the viscosity in the midfield. They have been fluid. And Water Dragon gonna get another. Oh, it's shanked to the side. You need to score those if you want to win championships.
Every little opportunity that you're not taking advantage of could be an opportunity for your opposition to get right back into it. And it just shows a missed goal. Maybe even 5 seconds ago, already turned the wayside, and Swayze punishes for that one missed shot, brings them within one. And half the game to go. You can only bet on a what if at this point. What if they scored that goal? What if it was 5-2 instead of 4-3? Rams, they're not out of this game. They're not out of this series yet. But my goodness, it can only be explained in the unexplained right now.
Explain the unexplained. That sounds like we're watching a Hitchcock movie. Never mind! Well, we've been talking about control. This is not it. Psycho, you madman, that's the wrong way. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't even know what to think anymore, Psycho. I have this curse. I feel like I hype up players too much, and then they absolutely don't play like their peak performance, and I can't help but feel like I'm guilty for the Rams' performance right now. But they're sticking in it. They're keeping it close in the series. They just have to find that equalizer before they make another mistake. And Psycho just misreading that off the wall. It's not good going into the rest of it, but they do connect and get it out of their own half for now. Oh, my Psycho! Almost scoring that
Had
angle.
the read. Definitely had the read on it, but not able to execute the angle. That's a very tough one. And I credit the Psycho with 90 seconds left to be ambitious enough to try Now we'll be able to control this off of their own backboard. Doesn't get the 50-50 though. If Swayze can recover, can get on top of this ball, it is a potential open net. It is Psycho down on the opposite side of the pitch, but unable to execute. It would have been a negative angle butte. Instead, it's 2 missed opportunities now for the Rams, and they're running low on boost. That is not good confines.
Oh no, but they're not quite out of it yet. Lurking in the midfield is Psycho on the redemption goal. A minute to go and only 1 down. They need to get by this kickoff. The Eagles have been so good on kickoffs, and if they can make it by, it only takes 1 kickoff goal to swing a game. And this could be that kickoff goal, and the Rams do win it this time. I don't think I've seen the Rams win a solid kickoff right off of it. It's an excellent 50 that just goes right back down the field, and it's just an onslaught of Eagles players challenging. Psycho gets away with it this time, and they might have an opportunity to strike.
Self-control in Rocket League, oh so important. Know when to challenge, know when to decide to feign. And at the moment, the Eagles are struggling with that sort of decision-making. Psycho is bumped completely out of the way. That is an open net if they can get there. But the Eagles will fly back to the nest. 20 seconds to go, Chris. And we've seen a fervent Rams squad put their best foot, their best hoof forward. It just hasn't been enough with Water Dragon lurking in the mid and owning all of the gold there.
Water Dragon might just have a very good running for MVP of this grand finals, because he has been lights out on his performance already. Sweet, Water Dragon messed up that kickoff. I don't want to say they're out of it yet, but I think that clear might just seal the deal. The first set gonna go in favor of the Eagles, and now it's on the mentality of the Rams to regain, because I think this was both the lowest lineups in terms of salary composition that these players could have ran. So they might just be throwing their best efforts into this next set, or this next series, I should say. We're not playing multiple sets. Oh God, I think the players would get me on that one. But Eagles, man, no matter how much the Rams threw at them, they always kept that lead. They never faltered with it. Well, I guess game 2. But the Eagles, man, that is a great performance in the first one from both players. It wasn't just one player lights out. They all did their work in that to get the win. And I think it's JB and Swayze sticking in this one. Team captain and Unseen going to come through. And Unseen, he was probably one of my MVP runnings from last season for Origin League, and he's made it back. He's made it even better. He's gotten to the final stage he can go to. And I'm looking forward to see how he comes out here.
1,000%. So, series number 1 will go to the Eagles. Oh boy. Are you ready for more, Chris? Would you just dive straight into this?
That last game had my heart pumping. I feel like that series, it shouldn't have ended in 4, but it did. I mean, the Eagles played a great game, but I think the Rams had more to leave out on the field there. It felt like one of those games that was going to go to 5. It just had that little comeback. The Rams always taking that one step closer to equalizing, but just couldn't in the end. And now it's set 2, and team captain might not be the captain, but, he's got that kind of name. Can he be that answer for the Rams to get them this one and force the 3rd set?
You have me wanting to go and do the research right now and see who actually won that first matchup between these two teams. Who was in, who was out. Was there a disparity between the salaries in that specific spot? We'll find out. Really, it doesn't matter in the end, because right now it is 2 teams trading haymakers and looking to land the final blow. The Eagles drew a little bit of blood. They got the cut in over the eyebrow of the Rams in match number 1. Match number 2, looking to hold more of the same. JB the Shrink might need to do a little bit of work on the back end here for team captain, because that is not the way to go out. Oh, no.
That's a feels bad. You think it's gonna happen, and you have that idea of where you think the ball is going, and it just doesn't. And I mean, that's a bad way to start it off in the second set or the second series. But it's interesting to see Psycho actually sticking around in this one. I thought Swayze had maybe a little better showing than Psycho, and I don't want to disrespect him, but Psycho just didn't look like his mechanics were up to par like I said they were. And the Eagles, I don't know what they ate for breakfast, what they ate for dinner, but something is just, it feels good. They're outpacing the Rams in an unprecedented way that I don't think the Rams have seen thus far. It's a David versus Goliath story. The 8-2 definitely reflecting the 5-5, but I know the Rams have more in them. It's just a matter of time of when they can actually show it. The Eagles, they're just so consistent in their play right now. It's hard to bet against them.
Yeah, I am in complete agreement with you. I also, in retrospect of everything that you've been saying, it's Psycho's mechanics that have really towed the line for the Rams in the first match. And I'd like to see a little more of Psycho's mechanics, but not with goals and shots on the net. I want to see team play. Psycho can carry, but if you're carrying by yourself, that's predictable. Get your teammate involved. Be a little sacrificial in the way you approach the ball, and it can make things very interesting. Both players, yet again, twice now, both going for it. And that killed what could have been a really good drive. Team captain could have got in on that ball twice, and instead it's a wide open net for JB the Shrink the other way.
And team captain just had so much momentum going into that one. Psycho, he had the control off the first touch. He just wanted to keep it going. Might have had something else, but the play, it just makes it so awkward after that one little instance. It just kills both players' drives. Sometimes you just have to go with the flow of Rocket League. You don't want to force too much in your favor, because things like that happen and they get punished for it. And seeing how the Eagles have capitalized on, I would probably say 90% of the Rams' mistakes in all of the games we've seen, the Rams, they might need to start changing something. How they think, how they approach the game. That whiff right there. Oh man, just so close.
Forcing the wifty in the midfield. You don't love to see it by any stretch of the imagination. Again, I don't question Psycho's mechanics. Psycho has been incredible as far as being able to show off control of the car. Rotations, not so much though. Somebody needs to be reaching out and going for this. Off the screen, nobody saw it. Psycho was pushing for the midfield boost and had no business leaving a teammate high and dry in that very moment. So, kind of an oof. We chalk it up to we need to do better in the next game if you are the Rams. Because this one, I don't want to call it too soon, but I burnt enough steak to know when something's well done.
You make a good point on that, too. That's kind of what my pathing was for what they would play next. And the thought to put in Psycho, okay, he gets that one there. That's a nice shot off the wall. But it feels like Swayze might have had a little bit more team play, some foresight to support his teammate instead. And Psycho, I mean, that's not the first time he's left the play completely wide open for boost. I don't want to call him out on it, but I'm going to. He's got to get a little bit more behind team captain. Let team captain take the wheel maybe for that first man position. You have the mechanic to shine on the offensive side. Let him do the grunt work like Water did for JB in the first one. Let Psycho clean up the shots and beat those players in the 1v1s. You have the mechanics to do it. And I agree with you. That mechanics in the midfield to open up space is possibly the most important utilization of it. But with just the way that they have been going at it, it needs to be a little bit of a pace change, because it's that infamous 5-1 again for the Eagles.
I was trying to figure out where Psycho was on that one, because that was yet another play where The Eagles, it was one defender going up against the entire pressure. Ah. Oh, big 50 by team captain. Won't be able to get through the rest of the defense. No, that's not the cut though, Captain. Don't do it.
Oh no! Oh, it just keeps getting worse. No way, that pinch is in. Okay, just off the post. I don't think my heart could have taken a fake in the midfield off of that cut, and the Rams get punished that way. Psycho, just no more boost, hits the back wall, and it's an overcommit from the last man. Unseen only needs to find the net, but you know, open nets might be the hardest thing to hit in the game, and it's a hat trick for both of the Eagles players. This is not good for the Rams.
Yeah, it's a complete lack of cohesion. You have two goats looking for the watering hole, and there's only a puddle for them to try to lick up right now. They're taking each other's boost. I've literally seen Psycho do their best impression of stiff arming, going beast mode on their teammate multiple times to try to push them out of the way, and then the cutoffs of each other in rotation are becoming more and more frequent. We even see it in that very play just a moment ago, crossing the midfield line. Nobody in forward defense for the Rams, and that is problematic. You need dynamic changes, and you need them now if you are the Rams, and I just don't know if they have it in them based upon what I've seen through the first minute 30 seconds, or 4 minutes 30 seconds.
It has been rough, and I think one of the things that could be most, like, you don't understand how much stuff goes into Rocket League, how much affects an actual game, and I think you said it was timeout. Timeouts could be very, very useful in a game of Rocket League. The other thing is, a lot of these teams, I think there's only ever been one team to actually have a legitimate coach help them through a series, and I think the Rams, having someone be that second pair of eyes to see from a third-person perspective to highlight some of the things that are going wrong, noticing the rotations, the cuts, what this, you know, leave this ball for this player for this opportunity. It could be very useful. The Rams kind of need to self-coach themselves, and it might be the captain, Swayze, to make some changes. They need to self-coach themselves, and that takes a lot to do for Rocket League players. The ego. I don't want to say that any player has a huge ego, but it might just be one of the things that they need to put aside in order to get some wins here, because this might just be a repeat of the first set.
I don't think it was a repeat by any stretch of the imagination. You look at the stats that we just observed here in game number 1, and when you have two teammates who can barely cross the threshold of 400 points together, you have two lost puppies defensively on their own side of the pitch. A mere one shot was converted upon by Psycho. And this is coming from the team that has outshot the Eagles pretty preemptively so far through the first series. I realize that one person's in, one person's out, but you still have 50% of the same thought process going in. And throughout a league play season, there needs to be standards set. There needs to be something, some semblance of normalcy. Right now, the Rams, they don't even look like a 5-5 team. And I hate to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy here. Like, you need to be able to show me more cohesion than what I've seen in this first little bit.
This actually brings me to... Oh my god! Unseen! He's now styling on the Rams! The Doomsy Dish backflip off of it! I don't know, man! That's one of the best plays I've seen come out of Adept League, and it might not have been the flashiest. It might not have been the cleanest. But he's pulling that off in a grand final
Oh,
situation.
what
with
is your
Jace.
definition of flashy? Like, that's what I want to know. Team captain's gonna come in and at least shut us up about that for a moment. But I think you have lofty illusions of grandeur about what is flashy and what is not. If you are getting a reverse Doomsday of that nature in Adept League, like, forget signing a contract. I'm gonna sponsor you to be a part of my new organization. We're gonna make all sorts of videos together. Content galore. Let's talk about the Rams, though. First goal for team captain, and I'm hoping that breaks the ice for this squad. I want to see a little bit more forward possession, forward thought, especially in the defensive zone. What are they doing to keep the ball in front of them rather than reacting to it in the danger zone?
Oh, and you know what? Already coming out, I think one of the things that could best benefit the Rams
There we go.
is keeping the ball high, keeping it in the air, and make those Eagles players work for it, because the ball was high. It was hard bounce off the sidewall, and no player was able to make contact there. Psycho only had to wait them out. It's the patience that can win the Rams the game if they are able to force mistakes. Not just take the opportunity, but force mistakes out of the players. And Psycho might just be that guy.
Team captain also trying to put in an argument here in the midfield. It is going to put Psycho on the back foot yet again and in rough confines. Defensively, going to be that guy at least for now. Has to get one more touch. And that wasn't the one. That wasn't the one.
He's not that guy. Ah, man. It's rough, because as soon as the Rams start giving us that little glimpse of hope, they just follow it up with a suboptimal touch on the defensive end, and it leads to the goal. There was nobody in net at that moment. It's hard, because we know they have more in them to take it just that step farther, get these wins. But it's just the execution on the very second half of the play that they're playing, and right now they might just have something here, but Unseen doesn't get contact in the midfield and then gets the bump so that the players cannot take a shot. What happened to the Rams?
Can we get a mod check? Mod check in the chat. Just spam them. Just spam them. Like that's the Rams defense in that specific moment. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Team captain's gonna take advantage of another weak touch coming out of the corner, but one single miss. I'm sorry, Psycho. You're not that guy. You're not that guy, pal. Oh. This is giving me BDS G2 vibes right now. I don't want to throw BM to any players, but the Eagles might just be beating a dead horse at this point. I don't know what else the Rams have in them, but they might be looking to reverse sweep when they've already been so far put down in their play. The Eagles have all the opportunity in the world to play with it. They're not being threatened. They're not being challenged. They have it relatively easy. Rams, they're just driving around and hitting the ball. And I know that's like 80 to 100% of the game, but oh man, it's rough. It's just a rough one. It is, but there is still plenty of time, and 3-goal lead. Not substantial enough in twos to see yourself all the way through. I still have a lot of double commits that I can be critical of, but at this point, I am beating a dead ram if I keep on pushing that button. It's going to be Psycho with the goal here, and that comes off of a boomer from the midfield. Maybe that needs to be the mentality. An initiation from the midfield with a firm follow-up.
that has been the majority of the Rams' goals, is just taking shots at the net from the midfield. And I'm not saying they're gonna go in every time, but if you shoot maybe 10 times in a minute, you could definitely find some free ones. And team captain, oh man, almost find one out of the midfield himself. The Rams getting so much more aggressive now in the Eagles' half, and better late than never. Team captain trying to buy some time for Psycho to get back. The 50 win is also good. JB comes through, no more there. Unseen snipes that bottom corner, and only the rebound to keep it going. Man, the Rams, I don't know. I don't even know the words to find it.
Well, I'm not going to pile on by any stretch. I'm going to keep on looking for solace for this team, looking for something that they can do to change their fortunes. And you know what? This is why we play the game. Thrill of victory, the agony of defeat, and that extra touch that Psycho was able to get up and around. I mean, the control is there. Psycho's got the dog in them. The question is it all bark or bite?
I mean, they keep proving that they can come back in the game. They can. They are keeping it close. Despite how dominant the Eagles have been, the Rams have kept the scoreline relatively close. You know, it's been 5-1, 6-1 at times, yeah, but they have all been close games. They've not just gone out. The worst game they had was that last one on zeros. It was one shot, and this is okay. That's redeeming. I was going to say, Psycho, take your time a little bit, and that would have been a goal there, but they still make it work. Team captain getting that beat, and it's a nice touch. Okay, you know what? The Rams, 30 seconds, one goal. They're not out of it. They're not out of it by any stretch. Your optimism is seeping into me right now, Kendo. I am looking forward to the second half of this game for the Rams, because it could be one of the greatest comeback arcs I've seen in the FPL.
Oh, the fact that Psycho, that was a one-sided demo, that might hurt their chances. Team captain gonna have to carry this through. That is a potential control for Psycho, but you gotta do more than just chip it towards the net. Heading towards that barren backboard would have been the brilliant play. Instead, it is a missed opportunity and the full pitch to go. Psycho, slightly panicked. The team will both go for it. This ball drop harmlessly. Yes. It will be the Eagles, but the one word that we had not said for a mite of time was teamwork. And towards the end of that game, the Rams finally showed us that they have the horns to put the ball on each other's hoods. So please, give me more of that. Give me a little more cohesion. We also see the return of the Rams taking a large volley of shots. But I want more control, especially out of Psycho, who has exhibited they can control that ball oh so well.
And you know what? I'd like to rescind my comment from that first goal that Unseen had. That was actually a really nice shot. The space that he was going at it. My definition of flashy, I guess, being GC3 SSL almost, is definitely got my ego inflated. It went right to my thighs, but you know, the Rams, they do have, I guess one of the qualities that you need in a champion is resilience. The Rams do not go down without a fight. They have been down every single moment in this series, except for the game that they won, where they took the lead in the last 14 seconds. They have the resilience to win. They can do it. That is one of the qualities. They just need to make it all connect. The fortitude on the offense needs to be a little bit structured more. It needs to have purpose with their touches. And this might just be what they could need to push them that much further. If they just do not give up, if they can fix those mistakes and it's the same mistakes they're making, if they could just fix those, patch them up, it's a reverse sweep situation right now to keep them alive. And if they show the kind of resilience they have all series long, there is no doubt in my mind they can bring it back. And that's just not my 10,000 channel points on the line talking here. That's truthfully, I believe these players have that opportunity, and they finally open up the scoring after how many games they have got the first one on the board.
Sometimes you have to let the replay speak for itself. And Psycho, I don't usually recommend driving backwards, but the execution, chef's kiss, beautiful thing. And they are able to give us something more here. As these two teams look to put on an offensive clinic. I don't know too much about the defensive end. The trap by Psycho, not doing very much. Loses control, and Team Captain nowhere to be found on the second man side.
Eagles are just always in the face of the Rams. It doesn't matter where they are on the field. I don't think I've ever seen the Rams on a ball that has been uncontested. Even the goals that have come from the midfield, there's always one Eagles player there that is waiting to strike. And while they've not always executed perfectly on it, they have always been right there. Positional pressure applied at every moment of this game. And an Eagles classic right now on the own goal. Not quite, but the Rams do push that one through.
We tell you what, he's the team captain now, and it is pressure coming from the Rams. They are looking to ram it when that ball puts itself in the box. We have an exclamation point, Eagles, in the chat. Unseen, undaunted by the 1-goal deficit.
Rams, they've been trailing so many times, and they're able to hold on to the lead. And as I say that, why do I keep cursing the Rams? J-Dubs, I'm sorry for this play. The Eagles, they've got more fight in them. They haven't been down at all in the series. And right now, I guess we're going to see what the Eagles are made out of, but the Rams just have to keep fighting that lead. If they're just going back and forth, trading goals, eventually the Rams should come out with a win here, because that first goal might just change the pace. That is a great pass from Psycho.
No!
But Unseen barely gets a touch. Psycho gets the control back around and makes it work. That's good. Stick with the play. That's what we want to see.
Yes. And this is what should have happened earlier. They were 6-5. You saw that loose touch, and Psycho ended up just chipping it up. Wasn't able to stay with the follow whatsoever. I need more of that out of Psycho, because one extra play like that could be the difference between a game win and a game loss. You have superior mechanics in Psycho. You need to be able to use them by staying with the ball rather than just chipping it into a waiting defense.
You know what? The demos. We have not seen a lot of demos come through in this series, and that is very surprising to see at the very least. It's two. We want to get in the face. I said we wanted to see a slugfest.
Yes.
And getting in the face. And if the Eagles, if they're getting beat to the ball more times than not, they might just pull them out. I think Unseen right off the kickoff was the first time I saw it, but the control, the passing play, Unseen seeing JB in the midfield gets them the equalizer. And oh man, Eagles, I don't know. They're just on another level tonight.
The unseen portion of that play was Psycho taking a side boost or a back corner boost from Team Captain. Team Captain was boostless. They were both in that secondary corner together, and they lost control. They are going to team volley this ball through the midfield and be able to beat the defense through utter and sheer chaos. Psycho, that's the type of control that we've been talking about. Good stuff from the Rams. There's hope. There is a might of this needs to happen, and it's happening. So I don't count them out. But at the same time, it needs to be better cohesion in the boost.
Yeah. That's definitely something that the Rams seem to be working on a lot. And Psycho actually on a lot of these goals has not only stepped it up, but he's also turned the Eagles' strength into their weakness. And right before I get to that, great shot from Team Captain, just losing the ball from the Eagles. That's not something that they've been showing a lot, but the Rams are forcing those mistakes out. But the thing that Psycho is doing The Eagles have been contesting so quick on the Rams. Psycho has just taken that touch half a second sooner and has beaten that Eagles player so many times to the ball already. It is great. They have turned what the Eagles were so good, their speed, their teamwork, their passing plays. He has just eliminated a third of that. He has gotten into the minds of the Eagles right now, and it's working. They've got a 5-3 lead. This is one of the best games we've seen out of the Rams. And the Eagles, while they're still keeping it close, they're just able to stay out of the danger zone right now. And we're down to the last 90 seconds. This is a good start for a reverse sweep if I've ever seen one.
Pay heed, all ye who entered the booth. The caster's tongue. A very dangerous weapon and unseen. Looking to be the bell toller. As Chris, I don't want to point out how bad you are at cursing teams, but brother, you need to stop it. You need to stop it.
It's the curse with the K, I guess. My name's so useful in so many ways, but I don't think the Rams will be happy with me.
Oh no!
I am so sorry, Rams franchise!
I was thinking about developing a grand finals 10 commandments. One of it would be never apologize to J-Dubs. But, you know, you might have to after this. Just do it in a private DM and it never happened. Curse with a K needs to be the name of Chris every time he casts the grand finals. That's 2. We'll work on more. Team play is a must. So 3. Yeah, we're all memes right now, but it is 1 minute to go. Potential lifeline on the line for the Rams. Team captain, great control. Through 1, through 2, no! It's gonna be an open net back the other way! Does JB or Unseed have it? They have all the time in the world. They botch the play until Unseed puts it in very tough angle in.
And not only to capitalize on that
Oh
mistake
my goodness.
from the overcommit, Unseen on that shot, team captain had the possession in the midfield, and Unseen went for the corner boost. It was wide open, but just didn't have the angle to get back to it. And the Rams have blundered a lead that they've had for so long in this one. They've only got 30 seconds to do it. If they have shown that they could stick in the series right now is to fully execute on that, JB. 1 goal could do it, but time is on their side. Team captain sets it up for Psycho. He's got the touch to the back wall. Double off the mark. Team captain, no contact there. Season 6 champions are the Eagles for the Adept League.
Oh, and it is the worst way to go if you are team captain. That one hurts. 7 shots was the captain on the offensive end for the Rams towards the tail end. And I got to give credit where credit is due to Psycho, who made the adjustments throughout. Game 1 did not look promising whatsoever. And this was a team that I can see they gave themselves a puncher's chance in everything that they did. Clearly a high shooting team, especially on the back of Psycho. All of their shot totals, with the exception of the first game and the second set, being over 5. Most of them being on average in and around that 9 to 10 shots per game outside of that anomaly. And that's really impressive. Overall, just looking down the line, I think they actually outshot the Eagles in this series, despite getting monumentally thrashed in game total.
Yeah, I mean, the shots will not reflect the goals scored either. The Eagles, I mean, their shooting accuracy, they didn't have to put up a lot, but a lot of their opportunities they made count. It was definitely a good showing, despite the amount of shots that the Rams put on. The Eagles able to put up less shots and score more goals is
Not quite.
Really?
I'm a little bit off. Eagles managed to beat them by 5.
Oh,
So
well, that's still pretty close.
Impressive.
And
Impressive.
for getting only one game win and the Rams keep it that
Yeah.
close in shots, that's an impressive stat line to say the very least. But oh man, the what if game, because Psycho also had the double touch that was right there, and team captain was waiting in the midfield. It was completely uncontested, and it hurts because it has all the makings of going the distance. It's just barely out of reach, and I mean, you couldn't call it closer, despite being what 6-1 in games total. The Rams did keep it close. There was 3-5-1s. There was a 6-1 in that 3, but every other game was a goal away from being a difference maker.
Yes, it was. And whew, you don't like to see it go down that way, but at the very least, I think the Rams did show us to be a championship caliber team. Uh, whether or not it was you get a little bit blessed here and there, whatever. At the same time, congratulations to the Rams. Amazing job getting to where they were at the end of the season, fighting their way at a 5-5 record, being a Cinderella story, getting in, and looking forward to seeing that entire team, Psycho especially, going forward into future seasons. Of course, it wouldn't be a it would not be Frontier Doubles without a winner's interview, and we don't just do one person. We bring in the hot entire team. We have Water Dragon, we have Unseen, we have JB the Shrink. Gentlefolk, how are you feeling? A two-loss season, and you avenge a regular season. Loss to the Rams, from what I understand.
That is true. We did lose to them.
I didn't lose to him. I'm still undefeated on the season.
Gotta hold that stat line strong, JB. I like that. You stay humble, man. That's good. That's champions mental. But I gotta say, man, you guys had their number. I mean, the challenges in the midfield, you shut them down at most of their opportunities, except for some of the long ball shots that they were kind of getting. But you never gave them any space to work with. Was that the plan going into it? Just do not give them space.
Yep, because Psycho's a mechanical player, so we just gotta make sure he has no opportunities.
Mm.
And then we just used our speed because we're obviously the fastest team in the league. So, we just used our speed and 50'd really everything. And then after we had 50, we'd know really our teammate would be there. So wherever the 50 went, the teammate would be there.
Well, I have no doubt personally what the play of the entire finals was with the Unseen reverse Doomsy. Mental. But from the team standpoint, I gotta ask, y'all are champions now. Can you all agree on who was your team's MVP in this series?
I would
Well,
say
so
JB.
okay. We got Unseen
I,
with JB Water Dragon.
I
What do
would,
you think?
I would say unseen.
yeah,
You would say Unseen?
I'd say unseen too.
Okay. Well, there you have it. You see what I did right there, Chris? I let them do the work for us.
Man, we gotta hire you, Kendo, because that just makes my job so
That
much
is big
easier.
brained.
It's big man.
Because I was gonna say, Water Dragon in that first series,
Yeah.
did the grunt work. I think is the term of the night. Shutting them down at a lot of key opportunities to give JB that movement, and JB playing 2 series. I mean, that's a lot of Rocket League. You played 7 games of Rocket League, and that could be a lot. A best of 7, you're just in a sweep, you're 4 and done. But 7 games of Rocket League. How are you feeling after that much? Because I guess that's a normal rank session, but
Yeah.
minus the 70 MMR you lose. But how are you feeling after all those?
I mean, I'd say I'm still decent. I mean, I could probably play a couple more games for sure. Yeah, Damina's pretty good. Been grinding here recently. Shoot,
Meta
I'm peeking.
grinds?
I'm peeking in 1s,
Oh,
2s. I'm not peeking in 3s though. Peeking in 2s and 1s. Sure.
Now, actually, with this team, I want to notice one major stat line in the entirety of the season. Water Dragon, you have zero stats on this roster, and I know the complications surrounding it, but Unseen and JB, you guys stuck with him after he was on the roster at the beginning of the season, right? Like for preseason.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, I think I played into like week 1 or 2.
Yeah, so I just want to know, like, what what was your main reason bringing Water Dragon back
Mm.
on? Because I know Water Dragon, it wasn't bad blood, it wasn't anything. You guys brought him back because clearly Water shows up. He is the best 10,000. He is actually the lowest ranked champion I think we've seen in like the league's MMR split ever. And that is impressive to see that because with the Adept League, the majority of salaries was high, 11. It was 11.5, I believe, was the average. So I want to know, like JB and Unseen, what do you like about Water? I mean, he's a great guy, yeah, but I want to know what you guys see in him that helps it all connect on the field.
I mean, we just play very well together. And no offense to Angel, that's the only matches we lost was with him.
But on the contrary, I did not lose with him one time.
I love it. I love it. That is right there, champions mentality from JB, making sure to let everybody know, put everybody on notice, undefeated season for one player in the entirety of FDL Adept League. So,
Yes.
congratulations to everybody. I do got to ask, we'll go down the line, Water Dragon to Unseen to JB. Do you have any shout outs? You are the champions. Let us know.
Honestly, I'm just glad like for the whole Eagles franchise. Like, it's not just a team when you're with them, it's like a family. Like, you're constantly, it doesn't matter what game you're playing, what day of the week, you got someone you can play whatever with. It's just like, it's like when you get onto the Eagles, it's like a family. That's why I love the Eagles franchise so much. It's just an amazing franchise.
Love it. Unseen?
I don't have much to add to that. You pretty
Shout
much
out
said
to
it all.
shout out to the franchise. We got to double down. JB, I'll let you have the last word, my friend.
Sir, shoot, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Shout out to the teammates getting us through this championship.
Well, there you have it, Chris. You love to see it. An entire team that plays together, and I imagine they're going to be looking to stay together throughout. I love to see how everyone develops themselves, especially in a league like Adept League, because Frontier Doubles League, let's be perfectly honest, it's just as much about the developing of your own personal talent in some of these franchises. You throw in the fact that it seems like what the Eagles have is a brilliant family style system. They're doing it right.
And you know what? Eagles have been shut out of the grand finals for the last 2 seasons of Adept League. Unseen, you were shut out last season by Devil
Hmm.
Jacob in Origin League. And I gotta know, it probably feels good for the Eagles. I think they have won a championship since season 2 every season. And you guys now get to add to that tally mark. You back for the third time, not the same players, but
Times a
definitely the
charm.
same franchise. JB, the humble, Unseen, the captain, Water Dragon, the goat. You guys, Adept League Season 6 champions. Congratulations on the accomplishment. And that is all we have for tonight. This has been the Frontier Doubles League. Kendo, thank you for being with us. Do you have any other words before we sign off?
No, I do not. If you don't know me by now, I mean, where have you been? At Kendo Slice on the Twitter, hanging out all over the place in the professional casting scene. Not as much on the on screen as I used to be. A lot of the behind the scenes, teaching up casters and trying to change and cultivate a new atmosphere in Rocket League commentary and beyond. Who knows what I'll be working on next? But yeah, throw me a follow if you want. If not, good day to you. It's been a beautiful time here at Frontier Doubles League. Gotta love the community and seeing it continue to grow.
Absolutely, and that is all we have for tonight. We have some grand finals next week, but for now, enjoy your Thanksgiving holiday. Spend time with your family, your friends, your loved ones, and we will be back next week. Have a great night, everyone.